Welcome to Inner Wisdom. We have Aura Allen today with us. She is a self-discovery and empowerment coach. I want to welcome Aura to help us in our inner journey to be happy. Hi, Aura. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. And I just need to thank you for this. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you for being here and sharing your energy with us. So tell us about
thank you. It's my pleasure.
Your journey. You were a flight attendant and now you are a coach. Can you tell us why this is a long journey you did?
Well, I am still a flight attendant, believe it or not.
Wow.
And well, being a coach, I felt that it was my calling to be in wellness. I do have a background, a bachelor's in forensic psychology. And then I also have my certification in nutrition as well as in nutrition and wellness. And so, but I wanted to mesh both the nutrition and the wellness because they do go hand in hand.
Right.
They really do. And well, through my clients and even my own journey, because I started out as a wellness coach, helping people get out of the sugar roller coaster that they would find themselves in. And through their journey, as well as my journey, I realized that the people that wanted to lose weight, it never was about the weight itself. Mm-hmm. Because I think that we all know how to eat healthy. I think we all know that.
Right. Everyone knows.
But yeah, I think we do. There's so many books out there, telling us what to eat, how to eat, and a meal plan. So the issue is not the lack of resources.
Right.
The issue is there's something more. There's something more that is making us want to reach for the food that we know we shouldn't be having. And so if we can understand what that is, then we can eradicate and get rid of the problem that's causing us to eat unhealthy. And when I realized that the weight loss was never the weight, the problem, it was something deeper, that's what made me transition into being a self-discovery and empowerment coach. Because the more we understand ourselves, the more we're able to have that life that we want, transform that area of our life that we want to transition. So I've always been passionate about well-being, how to seek that greater well-being. How do we have that life that we want? How can we feel really great about our lives? So it's always been a passion of mine. But I got that calling to be a wellness coach and now a self-discovery and empowerment coach.
Wow, that's a great journey.
Thank you.
So tell me, I think I see where this is going, but so that others can fully understand this, why should anyone do the inner journey? What does the inner journey entail? We don't know.
Well,
right?
At the what?
It's a big word for us, inner journey. So how can we
do
it? Yeah. So tell us more about it.
Yeah. Well, I think that who doesn't love to travel? I think that anyone, right? Anyone. Yeah, because the world is so vast out there. However, there is one very important place that I think that all of us must take the time to travel and really do that journey, and that's within. I'm a believer that we are the best country to discover. And what this journey requires is that you go deep within yourself. So it entails you to see all different parts of you, the bad, the good, the ugly, the scary, all of it, in order for you to discover its beauty. It entails you to be so honest with yourself in a way that you're not being critical of yourself. You're not judging what you're thinking nor what you're feeling, because the moment you start judging what you're thinking, what you're feeling, or judging yourself in any kind of way, it's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to work. It requires you to spend time with yourself every single day.
Mhm.
It's like when you go out and discover a country, right? You want to learn about the culture, you want to learn about the history, the beautiful parts, the ugly parts. Well, you're going to be doing the same thing with yourself. When you, and I really believe this, when you don't have that deep knowledge of yourself, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle. And even if it sounds so basic, but you would be surprised how many people don't really know themselves like that. And I, at one point, didn't even know myself like that, I have to admit. And I can tell you from personal experience that unless we are fully connected with ourselves, unless we fully understand ourselves, it is impossible for any of us to really, really, truly be fulfilled in life. So this is why each and every one of us, we need to do that inner journey if we want that greater well-being, if we want personal fulfillment. I mean, just to give you an example, and this is just one of many examples, happiness, for instance. In order for you to truly be happy, you need to understand what makes you happy. And this is not something that you can go outside of yourself for you to experience that. This is something that you need to go within. And one of the biggest mistakes that we make is that we seek that greater well-being outside of ourselves. And when we do that, that's when we end up feeling lost. That's when we end up feeling empty. And it is very important that we remember that things and the people outside of us, they can add to our happiness, but they cannot be our happiness. And
Right.
so happiness is one of those things that I think that for each and every one of us, it's an individual thing, meaning that it is unique. Because what may make you happy may not necessarily make me happy, and vice versa. And so it requires us to really dig deep and really get to know ourselves. And that's just one of several examples that I can think of.
Right. That's great. Yeah. So like shaking me a little bit like, right, that is the thing. Other people can add into your happiness, but they cannot be
Yeah.
person that is like you are happy because of this.
No, it cannot. And something that I would like to add, now that you say that, it really jeopardizes our well-being when we make something outside of ourselves the source of happiness. And that includes not just people, but anything, whether that's a job, whether that's, this is another example, believe it or not. Um, some people, if they look a certain way, then they're very happy. But if they don't look that way, they're very unhappy. That's just one of another example that we cannot allow outside things to make us happy, because when we do, the moment that is not there, that's when our well-being can get compromised. And if you think about it, nothing really lasts forever in terms of, and I think that what's going on worldwide with the virus is a good example. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, because I think that this is very, very important.
Yeah.
With this virus, a lot of emotions get stirred, including grief.
Mhm.
And for some people, it's not just the grief of losing someone, it's also the grief of losing their job. Especially for those that was their job and the job of their dream.
Right.
And this is why it becomes, the only word I can think of is peligro in Spanish. I'm sorry, I speak other languages apart from English.
Happen. I have a second language as well, and it's like that is my first language. So it's always confusing.
Now I remember, it endangers our well-being the moment we put something outside of ourselves as the source of happiness. We can't do that. That's something that needs to come from within.
So, do you have any advice? Like, we are going through this pandemic, and it is like a horror movie kind of for everyone. So how can we cope up with this? Like, is there any tips and tools which can help us, help others?
Me, and trust me when I tell you this, because I'm in the airline industry, and the airline industry is getting hit very, very hard. So
I
to tell you, that I haven't had my moments where I've broken down, to tell you that I haven't had my moments where I freaked out, I'll be lying to you,
Mhm. Right.
because I've had that. What keeps me sane, and this is something that, interesting enough, I was sharing in my private Facebook group called the Inner Globetrotters. I like, whatever I feel, I like to acknowledge that I'm feeling it. I don't brush whatever anxiety, whatever worry, whatever fear. I don't brush it under the rug. I acknowledge it. I feel it, but I do not dwell on it. Meaning, I'm not going to focus all day. Oh my God, this is happening. And oh my God, my job. And I don't do that, because if I do that, then I start spinning. And if I start spinning, I'm not going to be able to sleep. And if I cannot sleep, my immune system. So it just creates a ripple effect when we remain in that place of fear.
Mhm.
So I shift to one of love. And to me, that looks like this. So I ask myself, and it's something that anybody can ask themselves, what is great about what's happening? I know that sounds perhaps crazy to say, but it's a good question to ask, because then it moves you to, what can you be grateful for? Well, at least for me, this is time that I could spend with my mom. For anybody that's moms, this is the time for you to spend with your kids. For anybody that's married, this is more time that you can spend with your husband or your wife. So despite the craziness that's going on, it's very important that we look for the goodness in it.
Mhm.
Because the more we stay in what's going wrong, the more we're going to spin out of control. And that's when anxiety starts taking over us. That's when negativity starts taking over us. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I don't spend all day watching the news and informing myself about everything that's going on. I give myself a set time for me to do that. And the reason why I do that is because I like to guard this, the mind. I like to guard this, my eyes, what I'm watching. I like to guard this, what I'm listening to. I think that many times we take for granted how important it is that we guard ourselves, because what we let in can take root and can make us be what we're not designed to be. We're not designed to be in constant worry.
Right.
We're not designed to be in constant anxiety. Now, that's not to say that we won't have moments where we feel that way, but then we have to shift. And then the third thing, and I was talking about this in the private Facebook group, the Inner Globetrotters, is this. I like to create structure,
Mhm.
because that helps me create some normality in the middle of abnormality. So I believe that this is not the time for us to self-abandon. I still get up early. I like to work out. I have my time that I do the things that I have to do. Because when we don't have any kind of structure, when we don't have any kind of routine or something that can make us feel like there's still some normality, even though we're living in abnormal times, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
When we lack that, that's when we're more likely to be in that worry, to be in that anxiety, to be in that those feelings that don't make us feel so good. And if you allow me, I would like to say one other thing that came to mind. I like to also bring some aspects of what I still enjoyed before, what I was able to do before that I'm not able to do right now. I bring it into my own personal life. What do I mean with that? The very things that people enjoy that they're not able to do now, quote unquote, like for example, because we have to stay home, we have to be quarantined. time with friends, time with family, that physical contact. We're not able to have that right now. How are you able to bring elements of that still in your life? Because we're human beings, so we need that human contact. Well, your phone, do video calls. You bring elements of the things that you like into your normal everyday life. Because I feel like that somewhat helps. Please think about it. If we feel like everything is stripped away, we feel like, I'm going crazy. But if we can bring some of the elements of the things that we love, even if it's some of it, we don't feel so much this bumpiness and this craziness.
Right.
Mm.
That's a great tip. Like you should follow a structure, have some calendar,
Yeah.
like I will get up at this time, I'll do this routine. And yeah, human connection is our need. We
Yeah.
are social beings. And one
Yes.
most important thing I learned is acknowledge and don't dwell into it. All right.
Yeah.
If you have some,
Yeah.
just acknowledge it that fear is there. It's
Yes.
not whole life, right? Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Great thing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So what are the daily habits which gonna help to achieve better well-being or uh, will let us go on our inner journey? What are the daily habits we can have in our routine which will give us direction to go on inner journey?
There's several of them. I would dare to say I'm going to start backwards. Rather than the beginning of the day, I would say your day actually starts at night, believe it or not, as crazy as this sounds. And I'm going to explain what I mean. I'm going to explain what I mean. Your tomorrow, your morning tomorrow starts tonight. And what I mean with that is, and this takes me to tip number one, have night rituals. See, if you are not able to go to sleep because you're anxious, because you're watching things that make you feel bad, you're already starting tomorrow on the wrong foot. So many times we think, well, tomorrow I start doing this. No, start now. Start now. So me personally at night, by a certain time, I like to make sure that I am relaxed. Sometimes at 7 o'clock, sometimes at 8 o'clock in the night. But right before I'm about to go to sleep, it is a non-negotiable. I am not arguing with anyone. I am not watching scary movies because I don't want nightmares. I am not having these conversations with people that takes me out of my good feeling. I am not watching the news because all these things are going to affect your energy. All these things, whether you're aware of it or not, it's going to affect you when you're going to bed. And where we left off is where we start the next day.
Right.
And if you want proof of that, just notice that when you had an argument at night with your partner or with someone that you care about, and you went to sleep like that, how do you feel the next day?
Horrible.
Horrible.
It's like in the night itself, you cannot sleep.
Yes. So this is why I said I'm going to start backwards. Your moment, your great night, your great tomorrow starts right now. What you do right now, trust me, is going to affect you the next day.
Right.
And so at night, have rituals that ensures that you feel good, that ensures that you have a good night's sleep, that ensures that you feel at ease, at peace. And one thing that I have to say about nighttime, and because I know that there's a lot of people that they have problems going to sleep, it's very important to be mindful of the portable electronic devices that we're watching, that we're using, the lights, because all these things, whether we are aware of it or not, they disrupt our sleep because these things emits a blue light that sends the brain the message not to secrete melatonin.
Right.
So if you allow me, oh, this, you're in for a treat. Let me show you this. And I wrote this in the book, Creating a Lifetime of Wellness. I recommend this especially to people that are in the aviation industry. I would have colleagues see me with this on. These are called cocoons. They were like, you are crazy. You're in the hotel and you're wearing this. This is to this is to block the blue light
Oh,
that cell phones, computers, all these things emit. And I always wear that right before I go to sleep. And then, of course, when I'm about to sleep, I take them off, just like you take off your glasses. But that's to help me sleep. Okay, so that's the first thing. That was probably a bit long, but it's very helpful information. The second thing is in the morning, first thing in the morning, I do not like looking at social media. I don't do none of that. I like to connect with me. So as I'm sipping on my coffee, that's the time that I take to visualize what I want for the day. Visualize what I want for my life. Either read something that is filling for my heart and my soul, or listen to something that is filling for my heart and my soul. Because once you fill up your own cup,
mm-hmm.
that's when you're going to have more than enough to give to other people. I think so many times we get up in the morning and we're like checking our phones. Nothing wrong with that, but you don't want to do anything else other than connect with you first thing in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I do. I find that when I connect with myself early in the morning, I am able to be more aware of me, more aware of the way I'm feeling. I'm able to prep myself and my day because I'm connecting with myself. This is why the relationship that we have with ourselves is the most important relationship we will ever have. I mean, it really, really is. But I find that when I do that, I'm more aware. I'm more intentional during the day. So that morning time becomes very crucial, that you connect with yourself, that you take that time for you to be intentional about your day, that you think about what you want to do for the day, that you start visualizing what kind of life that you want to have, because that is what's going to determine what actions are you going to take during the day. What actions are you going to take during the week?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to lead you closer and closer to that life that you want and that person you want to be. If
Awesome.
that makes any sense.
Totally, absolutely. The thing that your night is the starting point of tomorrow. That's a
Yeah.
good thing. Yeah. If we think that way, that the journey start from the first step. So right now, if you can take care of your night or this time, your tomorrow is always bright.
Yes.
Right. And visualization. It's like every person since Think and Grow Rich, every person is talking
Yeah.
about visualization. And in yoga itself, like thousands years of tradition we have in yoga, that visualization, Yog Nindra, is to way to create your future, whatever you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, it's great. So tell us about your book. You have your first book that is Creating a Lifetime of Wellness. Start having
Yeah.
the life you deserve. That's a great title. I would
Oh, thank
like to ask
you.
you, is it possible to create a lifetime wellness, and how so?
It is possible and it is feasible, but it is possible only when you go to the right source for everything that you need. And it is accessible to you 24/7. And that right source is within you. It is. I think that we're always going outside and no. You have to go within. You getting to know you. I would suggest to anyone, take the time to get to know you. Take the time to understand you. As you understand yourself, you will have more respect for yourself. You will make better choices. As you make better choices, you're going to feel better about yourself, more secure about yourself. And this actually has ripple effects. by you going within that there are no words to describe. Because think about it. For you to have anything that you want in your life, you need to know what you want. And I even talk, there's a chapter in the book, Know What Your Needs Are. I mean, if you don't know what your needs are in any area of your life, how are you going to even create that lifetime of wellness? How are you going to have the relationships that you want? How are you going to have the job that you want? I mean, you need to understand your personality, what goes well with you, what doesn't suit you, what you like, what you don't like, in order for you to have anything that you want in your life. I mean, I really believe that if you want to improve any area of your life, you are the solution. You truly are the solution.
So as you were talking about that, we are the real source to change our life. So is there any tip or tricks like we can do it faster? Because in our journey, the word is so heavy, but as you were talking that it is the essential to be happy and have the well-being, wellness, or whatever we want in our life. So what is
Yeah.
our first thing or first step should be? Like where should we start our inner journey?
So
Is it
if
any,
anybody would,
is
if
there,
anybody, oh, I'm so sorry.
sorry, no, it's good.
So I would say start wherever you need to start. So for example, and I think there's no cookie cutter for one particular person. This is why I think that it's a very individual thing. So say, for example, if the person is just frustrated with their job. So let's start there. Start there. Okay, so you don't like your job. So what do you like? What are you all about? What do you like? What are you good at? What would you like to be doing? What are your dreams? What are some of your hobbies? So in order for you to start getting to the source of you, start wherever you need to start. What is one area of your life that you want to change? And then, okay, so then you start from there, but you need to go within. So what is it about that area of your life that you need to change? How would you like for it to look like? How would it feel right to you? Because see, the only way to change something is you understanding you. So if you don't like, I don't know, your relationship, okay, so what are you looking for in a partner? It all goes back to you. So I would say to start wherever it is that you want to change in your life, start with that. Because I mean, I started in the book, You Need an Oasis. That is your home, actually, because I really feel that everything starts in the home. But if someone loves the way their home is, but they're still not happy in their life, then you need to start wherever you're not happy in your life and go within.
Right. So we are hearing you have second book as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So it's like a journal, I think. And can you tell us
It
more
is.
about this journal?
Yes. Well, the journal, I was about to say the journey. I'm here thinking about the journey. The
Yes.
journal is called, huh?
Sometimes it's confusing when we are talking about journey and then comes the journal, but the journal is the starting point of journey.
Yes. Well, the journal is called Creating a Lifetime of Wellness, your personal coach to different areas of your life. And do I have I thought I have it right here. I wanted to show it to you. It's so gorgeous. And what it is it's designed for you to work on every area of your life that the book covers. So you're going to be coached on your own pace because you do it whenever you want. But the best part of the journal is that you're being guided by the best person that can guide you. Believe you me, it isn't me. I'm guiding you to your guide, but the guide is your inner self.
Right.
And so you're getting your own answers from within. I wish I can show you. It is so gorgeous. Actually, it's right here. Do you give me one moment?
Sure. Take your time.
I need to show you.
Yeah, we love to see it.
All right. So look how gorgeous.
Wow. It's cute.
Yes. And it has a sleep journal. It has a food journal.
Wow.
Because that does affect our well-being. Like if we want to create long-lasting well-being, it's important for us to address the relationship that we have with our body and our sleep. So it covers.
I can't wait. Tell me, where can I get this journal?
So this is going to be available on the site www.aura, my first name, which is my middle name, martinez.com/products. Now, it's not available for sale yet, but it will be this month.
Okay.
And that's where people can buy it. Yeah.
Oh, really nice. And your book also is there?
Yes, you can buy it there. It's also available in Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and there's several bookstores throughout the U.S. that also carries the book worldwide.
That's great. Is there anything else that you would recommend or advise to others? Any last thing that you would like to share with everyone?
Well, for anybody that may be feeling restless, frustrated, if you know that you're meant for more in your life, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't brush none of these feelings underneath the rug. If you're feeling this way, you're feeling this way for a reason. And the best way for you to know what that reason is you connecting with your true essence, because that is what has all the answers to everything that we can possibly need. You have an inner guide that knows what you're meant for. Everything is happening for you, not against you. Just know that. Know that that life that you want, you're meant for it. You really are. But you gotta connect within.
Thank you, Aura. This was a very great journey with you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.